Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at Knicks versus Pistons, game 4. That finish, wow, a potential buzzer beater just rims out.
Intense stuff. A classic playoff ending.
Right. And you sent over some great analysis, especially that NBA Game Time Reacts video. You wanted to get past the score, really unpack what this game tells us.
Exactly. What's under the hood here?
Yeah.
What does it show about both teams, about playoff basketball?
So that's the mission for this deep dive. Pull out the key insights, look at why this one game feels like such a good example of playoff intensity, star power, and maybe some growing pains too.
Yeah, especially the contrast between, a team like the Knicks with playoff experience and a younger Pistons squad.
Let's start right at the end then, that crazy finish.
Sure.
Pistons down 1, about 8 seconds left. Hardaway gets a shot up, misses.
Ball's loose.
He gets it back somehow, throws up another one just as the buzzer sounds. No good. Knicks win 94-93.
And Bickerstaff, the Pistons coach, he was absolutely livid on the sideline.
Looked like he was certain there was a foul on that last scramble, right?
Oh, yeah. Adamant. The commentators even mentioned, there might have been contact. But no call.
So Knicks take a 3-1 series lead. Beyond just the foul no call debate, what did those last few seconds show you?
Well, for the Knicks, it showed some resilience, maybe some luck, but they survived it. They got the rebound, ultimately.
Right.
For the Pistons, getting 2 shots off in 8 seconds shows fight, but neither fell. It's that tiny difference between trying hard and actually executing under pressure.
Yeah, that execution piece is key. And speaking of execution, Jalen Brunson for the Knicks.
Oh, man. What a performance.
32 points. And get this, 15 of those came in the fourth quarter.
After rolling his ankle pretty badly in the third.
Exactly. It looked like he was really hurting. But then he hits that, ridiculous shot behind the backboard.
That bank shot, yeah.
And that step-back 3 from, downtown, 35 feet maybe.
Just clutch. The analyst in the video kept talking about his ability to make tough shots when it mattered most.
How does a guy do that on a bad ankle, though? That's what I find amazing.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? He didn't shy away. He still attacked, maybe changed his pace a bit, but he got to his spots. It's that mental toughness, knowing what he can do even when he's not 100%. That's why people talk about him for, clutch player of the year.
And he was efficient, too. 4 for 7 from 3. So you couldn't just play him for the drive.
Nope. He keeps defenses honest. Just an elite performance, especially considering the circumstances.
Okay, but on the Pistons side, even though they lost, Cade Cunningham, he had a monster game.
Absolutely. A triple-double. That's big time in the playoffs.
25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Only the second Piston ever to do that in a playoffs game.
Shows you the kind of talent he is, carrying that team.
And that final shot attempt he had before the Hardaway scramble, the commentators seemed to think it was a good look.
Yeah, they said you'd live with that shot 10 out of 10 times. It wasn't like a forced heave. He got to a decent spot. But, and it's a big but,
yeah.
You look at the whole game, he also had 7 turnovers.
Ugh. Yeah, that brings us to the turnover issue for Detroit. 19 total as the team.
19. And the Knicks scored 20 points off those turnovers.
In a game decided by 1 point, that's just brutal.
It's killer. You basically handed them the game right there. Or at least handed them way too many easy chances.
The analysts pointed this out too, right? This pattern for the Pistons, getting leads but struggling to close. Why are those turnovers so magnified in the playoffs?
Because every single possession matters so much more. The margin for error, it basically disappears.
Right.
It's not just that you don't score. You often give up easy buckets going the other way, transition points.
Yeah.
For a young team like Detroit, learning to value every possession, especially late in close games. That's a tough lesson, but a vital one. They fought hard, but those mistakes piled up.
It felt like maybe some defensive lapses cost them too, particularly guarding Brunson after he got hurt.
Yeah, the video breakdown highlighted that. They kept letting Brunson go one-on-one.
Even on the bad ankle.
Exactly. There wasn't enough consistent weak side help, sending a second defender to make him give up the ball.
Seems like a missed opportunity.
For sure. The thinking should have been, make someone else on the Knicks beat us. Don't let their best player, even hobbled, dictate the action one-on-one. Force the ball out of his hands.
So a tactical adjustment they maybe didn't make consistently enough?
Seems that way. It's another part of that playoff learning curve, making those in-game adjustments against elite players.
Okay, but it wasn't all bad for the Pistons. They showed some real flashes, didn't they?
Oh, definitely. They ended the first half on an 11-2 run, cut the deficit right down.
And that third quarter, wow, they outscored the Knicks. 28 to 4?
28-4. That's domination. It shows what they can do. The talent is there.
So what's the disconnect? Why can't they sustain it?
Well, the commentators pegged it mostly to inexperience. Playing with a lead in the playoffs is a skill in itself. Managing the clock, handling the pressure, not getting complacent.
Right, it's different than just playing hard when you're behind.
Totally different.
Mhm.
So they show these brilliant flashes, but stringing it together for 48 minutes, especially closing out games, that's the next step for them.
Something else that stood out in the stats was offensive rebounds. Knicks had 14.
14. Yeah, that's a significant number. Extra possessions, second chances,
Super valuable in a tight game.
incredibly valuable. Wears down the defense, gives you another bite at the apple, shows the Knicks hustle, but also maybe an area the Pistons need to shore up, boxing out more consistently.
So, despite the sort of potentially controversial ending and the Pistons' struggles, the overall take seemed to be this was a really good, intense playoff game.
Oh yeah, the analysts called it everything you could want and pretty intense. That's playoff basketball. High stakes, high emotion, every play feels huge.
It definitely sounded like it. Even in a loss, that kind of atmosphere has to be valuable for a young team like Detroit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't replicate that intensity in the regular season. Experiencing it, even if you fall short, is crucial for growth.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you, the listener. The big takeaway here isn't just Knicks won, go up 3-1. It's more about what this game showed us, right?
Right. It's a case study. You see Brunson's star power elevating his game despite injury. You see the huge cost of turnovers and execution errors, especially for the Pistons.
And the need for those tactical adjustments defensively,
Yeah.
controlling what you can control. It really highlighted the difference between regular season flashes and playoff consistency.
Exactly. It's about performing when the pressure is absolutely maxed out.
So that leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. This game was decided by 1 point. We saw amazing individual plays from both Brunson and Cunningham. Thinking beyond just make the last shot, what's one specific, maybe subtle adjustment you think the Pistons could have made earlier or more consistently that might have changed the outcome? Not just the final play, but looking at the patterns.
Yeah, good question. Could it have been a different defensive scheme on Brunson earlier? More focus on boxing out, something in their late game offensive sets?
What does pinpointing that one potential change tell you about how razor thin the margins are and how critical those small details become when the stakes are this high in playoff basketball? Something to think about.